What's up everybody, this is Yair and today we are going to learn how to draw Super Vegeta. So today we are going to draw Ascended Super Saiyan Vegeta from his fight versus Cell in Dragon Ball Z. If you'll check the description box you can see all the materials I'm using for this tutorial along with Amazon product links. As you can see, I drew a perfect square. Each side is 3 centimeters, but you can draw it in any size you want to. Just make sure to use a suitable paper size. So this is gonna be a frontal pose. As you can see, I started by drawing the wrinkles between the eyes, but I think it's better to start with the overall shape of the face. So we'll continue by drawing the jaw. Then we'll draw his hairline and his sideburns. And now we'll continue with the eyes. So I'm gonna draw his eyebrow. We'll start with the right eye. As you can see, the eyebrow starts thin and then gets thicker towards the edge. I'm gonna add some lines next to it. Then we'll draw a curve to mark the bump above the eye. And to create the eye, we'll simply use 3 lines. But if you want, draw the bottom line with a bit of a curve. Awesome, next we'll place the pupil at the center but slightly to the left. We'll add the cheek marks. And we are going to do the same process for the left eye. Now if you want, you can use a ruler and measure the distance. And I'm gonna add 2 more lines for his temple. Awesome, now to draw the nose, we'll use 5 lines. Follow these steps. And then we'll draw his cocky smile very close to the nose with a tiny gap. As you can see, the right side of the mouth is a bit higher than the left. We'll add some wrinkles and then we'll draw the teeth. And the bottom lip. Awesome, the next step will be drawing the ears. So first I'm gonna start by drawing the shape of the ear, and only then I'm gonna add all the details. We're going to do the same process for the left ear. And again, just like I said before, if you want, you can use the ruler, draw a guideline to help you keep the right proportions. Awesome, now we'll draw his neck and we'll give him a massive neck because in this form he appears much more muscular. As you can see, I'm drawing the neck muscles and then we'll use a curve to create the color. Awesome, so now we can draw the hair. So first I'm gonna start by drawing 2 spikes on each side. As you can see, I drew them roughly at the same size but not identical. Next, we'll use this guideline in order to keep the right proportions of the hair. And now we can add the rest of the spikes with the borders of our guideline. The next step will be adding some random lines from side to side in the direction of the shape, the direction of the hair. And now we can move on to the torso. So first I'm gonna start by drawing a line in the middle. Then I'm gonna draw the trap muscles. And now I'm gonna use this guideline to help me keep the right proportions for the torso. Next we'll draw the chest muscles. Then we'll draw the color of his shield. Now I'm gonna add some details for the chest, some details for the traps, and we'll use two lines to draw the trachea. Awesome, so now we want to draw the shield. So first I'm gonna start by drawing these two circles to indicate the shoulders. Then I want to draw the straps of the shield, and we'll draw the shape of his shield. Now that we got the overall shape, we want to add some details. And we'll draw 3 more lines here for the abs area. Awesome, so we'll leave the shield for now and we'll focus on his left arm. So first I want to draw the shoulder, just by drawing a circle. Next I'm gonna draw the bicep. As you can see, I draw it really close to the chest from that point because the bicep connects to the chest. Then we'll draw the tricep. And now I'll add some details to the shoulder. Awesome, and we'll draw his back and add more details to the shield. Now for his right arm, we want him to point at himself. It's right from the episode where he says, "I'm Super Vegeta." So we want to capture that moment. Now ignore what I'm doing right now, I didn't draw it properly. I should have drew his hand closer to his face. Okay, so as you can see, first I'm starting by drawing the overall shape of the hand. I'm starting with his thumb, then his palm, just by drawing a square. Then I'm drawing the forearm. Next will be the bicep. Fixing the shoulder, just making it a bit smaller. And then adding the tricep. So now that I got the overall shape, it's much easier to add the details. So I'm gonna add the fingers. We'll just draw a fist. Next I'm gonna add the knuckles. 1 knuckle for each finger. And then we'll draw the creases for his glove. And lastly, we'll draw the thumb. Awesome, now we're just gonna fix all the shield areas that got erased accidentally. And then I'm gonna add some lines on the shield just to add more details to the shield. Awesome, and lastly, don't think I forgot, we are going to add details to the straps of the shield, those dents. Next, we'll do some minor adjustments to the hand, just changing the placement of the bicep. Awesome, so we are done with the sketching part, and now we can move on to the inking process. So for the inking process, we'll use some black pens. The tip size of the pen we'll use will be 0.1 or 0.2. I'm gonna hold the pen with a firm grip closer to the tip, and as you can see, I'm rotating the page and I'm using my natural hand movement and go all over the lines. The more you practice inking, the more you'll get better at it. It comes with time, so don't get frustrated if you don't make it the first time or even the 20th time. Awesome, so once we are done with the inking process, we are going to take the charcoal eraser and get rid of all the lead. And I forgot to draw his bottom lip. Awesome, so now that it's clean and looking fresh, we can start to use the Copic markers. But if you don't have Copic markers, you can use color pencils or just use your HB or B pencils and do some shading. However, I'm gonna use Copic markers, and if you'll check your top left of the screen, you can see the exact number of Copic I'll be using. So first we'll start with his undersuit. I'm gonna use 3 tones of the same color. We'll start with the brightest one, and as you can see, I'm coloring in the direction of the shape. Okay, if you want something to appear 3D, don't color it flat, color in the direction of the shape. Next, I'm gonna use the mid-tone, that's a darker tone, and we'll add all the shaded areas. And now I'm gonna use the darkest tone for the darkest areas. As you can see, for this drawing, the main light source comes from the left side, which means that the right side will appear darker because it gets less light. The next step to do is blending. So I'm gonna use the mid-tone to blend the darkest tone with the mid-tone, and I'm gonna use the brightest tone to blend the brightest tone with the mid-tone. Next, I'm gonna do some adjustments. And this is the result we are going after. So I'm gonna do the same process for the chest, the neck, and his other arm. So I'll explain again. We'll start with the brightest tone, coloring all the brightest areas, the areas that pops out more, the areas that get more light. Then we'll use the mid-tone, covering basically the entire area. The next step will be coloring all the shaded areas, the darkest areas. Then we'll do some blending with the mid-tone and the brightest tone. And a quick tip, if you by accident colored outside of the line, you can use the colorless blender, that's number 0, and what you'll do is soak the ink from that area and it's just like new. Awesome, the next step will be coloring those straps. We'll use some mustard tone for that, and just like before we'll start with the brightest one, that's a light reddish yellow. Next we'll use a mustard tone, add in some shade. And then we'll use an even darker tone. And you guessed it right, we'll do some blending just like we did before. And I'm gonna use the darkest tone again to add more layers to create more contrast, to get more saturation. Awesome, now I'm just gonna use the mid-tone and the darkest tone for the rest of the areas. So as you can see, I'm starting with the mid-tone, coloring from side to side in the direction of the shape, of course. Then I'll use the darkest tone. We'll do some blending with the mid-tone again. And finally I'm gonna use the darkest tone again, just like I said before, to add some more contrast. Awesome, now we are going to color the glove and the white parts of the shield. We'll do that with the same colors. I'm gonna start with the brightest one, which is a very bright purple, purple gray tone. Again, just adding some shade. Next I'm gonna use a darker tone. And just like before, we'll do some blending. Awesome, so now that we are done with the torso, we can focus on the face. So we'll start with the eyes. I'm gonna use a blue-green tone for that. And as you can see, I'm leaving a blank area at the edge just to get a nice highlight. I'm gonna use the colorless blender we used before, and I'm gonna blend the colors. Next, we'll color his tongue, and we'll use some grays to add shade for the teeth, just in the edges. Awesome, and now what we want to do is color his face. So we use some skin tones. I'm gonna start with the brightest one, basically just filling this entire area. But as you can see, I left a blank area right at the bump above his eye, just because it sticks out more and I wanted to get more light. Next, we'll use the mid-tone, adding all the shaded areas. Then we'll use an even darker tone, coloring the darkest areas. Awesome, and now we can move on to the hair. So we'll start with the eyebrows. I'm gonna use the mid-tone first, that's Y15. Then I'm gonna use the brightest tone, just to get a nice light right there. Now we'll use the same tone, Y00, and just fill this entire area, but again coloring in the direction of the shape. And I'm gonna leave some blank areas on each spike. And I'm gonna use the skin tone again right next to the hairline. Next, we'll use the mid-tone, the same tone, Y15. And again, because the light source will come from the left side, the right side will appear darker because it gets less light. Next, we'll do some blending with the brightest color. And now we want to use a darker tone, a brown tone, and we'll add more shade to the hair, but with a minimum use, not too much. I'm gonna use the mid-tone again to add one more layer. And to finish up this drawing, we'll just add some shade to the eyes using C1. And we are done!
Everybody.
This is how you draw Super Vegeta from Dragon Ball Z. I hope you guys and girls enjoyed this tutorial. Please let me know how you did. Leave a comment in the comment section. Also make sure to support my channel by liking this video and sharing it with some of your friends. If you want to buy some of my original art, check out my Etsy shop, the link is in the description box. And subscribe, I upload new videos every weekend. That's it, thanks a lot for watching. Keep being awesome as always, and I'll see you on the next video. Peace.